In the past couple of years, there's been some criticism, some smack being talked about Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich. In this video, I would like to answer the question, is Think and Grow Rich still a great book, and should you still read it?
So is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich legit? Now, lately I've seen some stones hurled at Napoleon Hill and at his book Think and Grow Rich, consequently. Now, mostly really at Napoleon Hill himself. I'll give you some examples. Now, Dan Pena, he's been made famous lately by London Real. Truly an incredible human being, very extraordinary. And he's been hurling a lot of stones at Napoleon Hill, insinuating some kind of illicit relationship between Napoleon, the young Napoleon, and the quote-unquote old man Carnegie, talking about W. Clement Stone and how he invented the term personal development because it's not quantifiable. And he was talking about Napoleon Hill being broke, which seems to be true because I've heard this information from more than one source. Then there's this YouTuber, Peter Antonov, and he was talking about Napoleon Hill's dirty little secret, in which he talks about how Andrew Carnegie himself might have just given Napoleon Hill either all or most of the steps of the system before Napoleon Hill ever even started his work. Meaning Napoleon Hill insinuating that Napoleon Hill did not come up with all the 17 or 13 steps, 17 steps in the previous book, 13 steps in Think and Grow Rich. No, he didn't come up with those steps. Carnegie gave him most of those steps. May or may not be true. Now there's this famous marketer, Dan Kennedy. Now all of this information is available online. Now Dan Kennedy was talking about Napoleon Hill being broke as well in one of his talks that is available on YouTube, I believe. Given all of this information, the question is the book Think and Grow Rich legit? And in this video, I want to clear it up once and for all. I want to clear this up once and for all. And my answer is unequivocal. Yes, the book is legit, and it's legit for 3 reasons. So let's go through them one by one. So reason number 1, the author and his book, whoever the author is, whatever the book is, Shakespeare and his plays, John Donne and his poems, whoever the author is, the author and his book are not one and the same. Whatever has been said about Napoleon Hill is completely 100% irrelevant to the quality of his book. I don't care if Napoleon Hill was broke most of his life or late in his life. He was broke late in his life as far as I understand. I don't care what happened or did not happen between him and Carnegie. I certainly wasn't there, and frankly, I sincerely don't care because it doesn't matter. I don't care if he was broke, and I don't care if Carnegie gave Napoleon most of the steps of the secret. I don't care if that's true. In fact, Napoleon does not even seem to conceal this fact. He doesn't seem to hide this fact that Carnegie indeed gave him some of the philosophy, if not all of it, but or most of it. Because I think in the introduction, in the preface or the foreword to the book, Napoleon Hill says something like, he says, "That's why Mr. Carnegie tossed it to me so quietly." He was talking about the secret. He says, "That's why Mr. Carnegie tossed it to me so quietly." So he did toss it to him, the secret, you see? I don't care if that is the case. It doesn't matter for this reason, because the creative process is mysterious. And I learned that from my professor in college, and he is the most intelligent person I've ever met in my life. And I've met a lot of intelligent and interesting people. And what he said was, you see, the creative process is mysterious. See, if you ask Mozart, how did you write your 40th symphony? Mozart would be like, well, I sat down, I had maybe a glass of wine, I sat down and I took a piece of paper and I started scribbling. Talking to Mozart would help you zero, would not help you an iota to understand his music. In order to understand his music, you need to listen to it, study it, listen to it, study it, just the music. You don't need to talk to Mozart. In fact, it wouldn't help you the least bit. Which brings me to this point. What if you had a chance to meet a dead author? Now, I remember my professor saying, if Shakespeare turned up, I wouldn't want to meet him because all I need from Shakespeare is his plays. Now, what if you were, let's say, you read novels, some of the amazing novels that have been written throughout history, let's say Russian novels, Dostoevsky, for example. Now, would you want to meet Dostoevsky and talk to him and discuss some of his novels, some of his ideas? You could possibly meet him if you could travel back maybe like 150 years. But you would probably find that Dostoevsky is just this very difficult, gloomy person. You might find him rude and a bit of an asshole. It would simply not help you to understand any of his books. Therefore, just separate the author from the book, because the creative process is mysterious. Napoleon did a tremendous job. He did an amazing job. How did he do it? By what means did he do it? It's irrelevant, because we can only refer to what's in the book. We can only refer to the contents of the book in order to understand the book. Anything outside the book is irrelevant to the book. End of story. Reason 2. The book is based on facts and on the study of cause and effect. And it's true. The book is really based on facts. And there are a lot of facts in the book, and that makes the book powerful. He might have taken he did take the model of Dale Carnegie, who wrote his book. He wrote several books, such as How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, in which he also uses just real examples from real life, which makes the book so valuable and interesting. Think and Grow Rich is filled with interesting points. The burning of the boats. Now, there are a lot of examples in history about burning of the boats. The first one going to year, I believe, 711. There was this Middle Eastern warlord who burned his ships, I think, upon disembarking in the coast of Iberia in Spain. There are other references as well, such as Admiral Cortes, and there are many others. There's more than one example of a military commander disembarking and telling his soldiers to burn the boats, because that would ensure the victory. And in either most of the cases or in all of the cases, they actually won. That's one of those examples. What about this one, the $1 Million Sermon? Now, Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Philip D. Armour. Now, Mr. Gonzalez was a preacher, and there's this whole interesting story how he simply decided that he was going to get this $1 million within 2 weeks. And then he forgot the sermon that he had written before, and he ended up at the pulpit without the written sermon on him. And then he was glad that happened, because he delivered the most amazing sermon, at the end of which Philip D. Armour approached him and told him that he was going to give him this $1 million. And you can actually find this information on Wikipedia. It's all about this Philip D. Armour Institute of Technology. It was, I believe, that's what it was called in the beginning, and then it was renamed. So yeah, it's a true story. Now this one is my favorite. This child at the mill. We don't know for sure if it happened, but it certainly sounds like it happened, and it doesn't sound fantastic or mysterious. But it's such an important example in the book. And what makes it so important, what makes it so relevant, is that Napoleon Hill points at the cause-effect relationships. That's what Napoleon Hill does. He gives you facts, and then he tells you, look, this is what happened between the point the decision was made and the point the result was achieved. And anything that happened in between that decision and the result is also a mysterious process. That's where the secret is contained. You see, half of the secret, he tells you, is already within you if you're ready to receive it, meaning if you're ready to make those decisions, to be imperative about it, to burn your ships, to burn your boats, and go after this result. If that is the case, then you possess half of the secret. And then the other half of the secret, of course, is in the book, and you will pick it up because you possess the other half. So reason number 2, the book is based on facts and on the study of cause and effect. And reason number 3, the book is backed up, meaning the value of the book, the validity of the book is backed up by personal experience, by my personal experience, by yours, and by other people's personal experiences. There was an impossible result that I got. I actually did that more than once, but there was one really significant one in year 2006. I'm not going to give you all the details. Now, I'll tell you the story in a separate video because it's really worth telling. But I got this result more than once. The really significant one was in 2006, but since then I achieved different results that other people thought were impossible, and even I myself, sometimes doubt kind of creeped in, but I overcame it and it became possible. In fact, I came upon the book Think and Grow Rich after I had achieved that result in 2006. And then I read the book later, and in retrospect I was like, oh my God, that's exactly how I got that result. So it was amazing. That's why I really got hooked on this book. Perhaps you can recall an experience of your own where other people thought it was impossible. Even you thought, oh my God, that's quite a result that I'm after here. And yet you made it happen anyway. And you can check out some of the reviews of the book. And I think the best place to go is Amazon.com. If you go to Amazon and read some of the reviews from people, because the book has a really high rating on Amazon. Read some of the reviews and see that people are saying, yes, it's true. The book is true. I did that. I did this, and that's what happened. The book changed my life, and so on and so on. So it's really backed up by not only facts from history, but personal experience from people who are around us today, including possibly yourself. That's why, you see, our immediate experience proves that the book is valid.
Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.